Hey, good morning, friends. How are you? It is a Monday morning, and I am back with another practice growth strategy for you. This week, I want to talk about your most important. Really, it's an asset for your business. It's what makes your business super saleable. And if at some point you do decide you want to sell it, and it's often one that we overlook, and that is the value of your email list. So, I want you to think about your email list in a way that, well, first of all, let me back up. Your email list has to stay current. Let's start there. So, what process do you have in place that you are validating or verifying emails of your patients? People nowadays don't typically change email because email's been around for so long. So, they often don't change their email because they've got too many people know what their email is. So most people don't change them, but that doesn't mean that they won't. So every quarter, my recommendation is every quarter you set like a reminder in your calendar or with your front desk or something to verify that that is still the best email address to get them. So for instance, someone may have had a job and they worked for a corporation or a business or something, and they had their own business type email. They may have requested that you send information to that business email, or maybe they were a sole proprietor, owned their own, one stop shop kind of a business. Well, maybe they closed their business during the pandemic and they shut the whole thing down, and now they don't use that email address and they're not getting your emails, which we'll talk about in a minute. So, you want to make sure that your patients always have on record in your office an up to date email address. It's absolutely crucial that you have that updated email address. So, once you know what that is, let's talk about why this is so important. When you're not in front of patients on a regular basis, meaning that you're not we call it in my world, we call it being top of mind, being top of mind. So that just means that basically, whenever they think about a wellness practitioner or someone who's helping them with their overall health, they're thinking about you. Well, if you are gone and outside of their vision, in other words, you're not in their inbox and you're not, you don't need to have a big billboard in your town, or you don't have to take out ads in the newspaper. I actually think those who reads a newspaper, but even like the magazines, the little local magazines, I don't think it's an effective form of advertising or marketing. Your best tool for marketing is absolutely hands down your email list. If you don't have a good email list, you aren't capitalizing on your best resource that you can leverage to make more income, get more patients, keep your schedule full, but you got to make sure that they're accurate. So, when you have that email list, here's what you can do with it. This is what I really want to talk about. When you have that email list, you want to be able to make sure that you're sending out at least one email a week. At least one email a week. No ifs, ands, or buts. That's it. So you send that one email a week, and what will happen is you'll start to show up in their inbox, right? So now you are becoming top of mind. Does that make sense? So you're showing up in their inbox, and every week they may not think about you all week long. And then the next, Wednesday or Tuesday or whatever day you want to send your emails, that email shows up again. And consistency is super important here, because if you're not consistent sending those emails, then they're going to be like, she's here, she's gone, she's here, she's gone, whatever. Consistency is super, super important. So you send that email once a week out to your patient base, all of them. Okay. Everybody gets the same email. Now, then, when you start sending those and you're really consistent about it, you can become top of mind. Now, if you want to, I did a podcast episode, the Clinical Entrepreneur Podcast. I did a podcast episode on how to create 4 weeks worth of content in 3 simple steps. And I don't know off the top of my head, because I just thought about mentioning it, but I don't know off the top of the head what the episode number is, but you can look for it. It's one of the earlier ones. It's in the teens, I will tell you that. So you can go back and find that episode and listen to it, because that's the next question that I always get asked is, well, okay, I'm going to send an email, but what the heck do I write about? I don't even know what to write about. Well, when you go through that podcast, you'll see the steps and you'll never run out of anything to write about. I promise. I promise. So you'll never write about anything. You'll never run out of ideas. But they could be things like, what's the best kind of water to drink in your opinion? Where's the local places, because your patients are likely local? Where's your best local business recommendation? What new restaurant did you try, and what dish did you order, and why you loved it, and why it's so good for your body, because it's got these ingredients and this is what those are doing to help you build your health. So it could be anything. It could be about frequently asked questions. It could be, about something that you're featuring or doing for the month. Whatever it is, just write that short email, show up every single week in their inbox, and you'll be top of mind. When you're top of mind, they will call you when they have a health issue. But when you are gone and out of sight, out of mind, then they're just going to go back and look, and somebody else says, oh, go see this guy over here, he does that such and such, and they go, oh, okay, I'll go do that. And then pretty soon you've lost the patient. But when you stay in regular contact with that patient every week, you're not selling anything, you're not sliming them with offers, you're not saying here's a 20% off discount. No, 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 no. Just show up in their inbox and give them value, and then let them know that you're still there to help them. And that's it. That's one of the fastest ways for you to not only grow your practice, get people reactivated and back in the door. I promise you. On the Clinical Catalyst. And if you need help with content and you really don't want to write it, I'll put the link below, but you need to check out Clinical Catalyst. Go to clinicalcatalyst.com and you can actually get posts, done for you posts and blogs. They're called wellness articles that you can use, and social media posts that you can send out for your patients as a subscription, and you don't have to ever think about it. It's all done for you. It keeps you top of mind. But what we've seen on the Clinical Catalyst side is that patients who have practitioners who have never had any kind of a weekly email nurture series, that those particular patients, those patients, they reactivation rate is between 40 and 60%. So think of your email list. If you send that out to 1,000 emails, and let's say only 600 of them are good, you have a 40% reactivation rate over the next 30 to 60 days. Your phone is ringing. We've seen it over and over and over and over again. So those weekly emails, they work. So if you want to write them, great. If you don't want to write them, reach out to Clinical Catalyst and ask about that. It's clinicalcatalyst.com. But if you can write them and you can just write a short email, go do that. But staying in front of those people is absolutely one of the least used marketing techniques that will explode your practice in no time. So if you're looking for patients and your schedule's not as full as you want it to be, that's how you do it, my friend. All right, that's it for this week. I'll be back next Monday with another practice growth strategy, and take care and make it an awesome week. See you soon.